Well, hey, it's Vince. Listen, we're here to talk about life, the fun of it, the mess of it, and the marks it sometimes leaves behind. But thank God for grace that removes even the stubborn stains. Well, hey everybody, it's your host, Vince. I am glad to be back with you. I think this is episode 3, but it's going to be hard for me to keep doing episodes as we move along, but I'm sure glad you are back for another episode of Stubborn Stains. I told you I'm going to have a lot of guests on, and I have some guests today, and the reason they're on is a couple things. They're part of our worship team, and I'm actually taking some responsibility for bringing some new worship team members on. I'm excited about it, but I am really excited about them being on today. Actually, they were in the building already, and so I said, hey, while you're in the building, let's do just a little podcast. And so I have them with me. Say, hey, this is Joanna and Andy Maxey.
Hey.
Hey, hey, girl.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Hey. No, I am. We've done a lot of worship together over the years, and we were apart for a while, but God saw fit. I'm so grateful God saw fit to put us back together.
Yeah, we are too.
And this journey's been. The first journey was good, and this journey's been even better. And so I hope it lasts a long time.
Me too.
But they've been a part of worship teams for quite a while, and Andy plays drums and guitar and quite a few things. I've never heard him sing, so I'm just going to leave that for
No, he does not sing.
Thank you for saying so. I don't have to worry about offending him.
He actually can a little, but he just
totally sing.
I can totally sing. I love it. We'll know now that he never sings on stage.
That's correct.
That's our answer right there. Reference back to the service on Sunday. Never mind if you didn't hear it. But Joanna obviously sings on the worship team, leads a lot of songs. And so, you know, this subject matter came up for me. Speaking of stubborn stains, I finished, I may have mentioned this, but I'm an instructor at a worship academy, by the way. Mm-hmm. Gibby's going to be there. Yep. I'm so excited.
He is too.
I'm a part of a worship academy at a church in Knoxville. I almost said the name. I'm not going to. But I actually teach the adult worship class in that academy. So that academy, you can do keys, drums, bass, vocals, guitar, everything, a lead, electric guitar, acoustic guitar. Man, it is. We have a ton of instructors. But part of the thing that I love about the curriculum is, and the kids have it too, if you come and do a skill class for 30 minutes, you're required to attend. The kids have their own class, and the adults have a worship class. And we go through a curriculum. We have a 10-week curriculum that actually one of the founders of the Worship Academy, Jason Michaels, actually wrote a book called It's All Worship. And so this semester, we have gone through all 10 chapters of that, and it's just been so good. And typically my teaching style in a class like that is a lot of facilitation. I like to get everybody really, really involved. And so my last class was on Monday. And so the book kind of debriefs itself in chapter 10, but I kind of said, close the book and I want you to debrief. And so I asked everybody in the class, what was your big takeaway from our 10 weeks together? Mm-hmm. And one of the things somebody said was, and they broke down, it was so neat, but they're like, it's Jesus. It's period. There's nothing else to be said. Yeah. Everything we do on that stage, it points back to him. Yeah. It's him. And something that I think, if you're a worship leader or a musician on a worship team today, I think this is such a key to things, and it's why I wanted to address it, and especially with these two folks. And it's funny, we just went to lunch together, and we're having this conversation. Like, this is ongoing conversation. This isn't brand new. Is the stain of performance. Yeah. And so, me and Joe and Andy were talking at lunch that many times we think we got rid of our pride, and we think it's all out of us. We think that we're at total humility, and all of a sudden we say something. I know for me, I pray something or I'll say something and I finish saying it and I realize it's self-serving. Yeah. And so we were literally talking at lunch about, it's not about begging the Lord, about saying, God, make me surrendered. Right. Like everything out of me. And so I wanted to talk about this. I think it's a thing that a lot of musicians and singers deal with, is the stain of performance.
Yeah.
I think a couple weeks ago we were dealing with some stuff, and I think we were letting the responsibility for it rest on us and our performance. And so I'm just going to throw some stuff out, and I just want you guys to let's just have some conversation. So here's something that, just some phrases that I sent to them to be thinking about. Here's the first one. You don't have to live managing impressions. You only live to obey.
Yeah.
How about it?
It's a tough one.
Why?
It's important. I mean, I feel like you get caught up in it.
Yeah.
You're looking for, you get to where you walk off the stage and you're waiting for somebody to say, "Hey man, great job," or
Yeah.
something like that. You get to looking for that, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can't expect it. You can't hope for it or anything like that. That's what Joanna and I were talking on the way up here, because we were kind of talking about the notes that you sent us, and that's one of the big things for me is I used to do it all the time whenever I was younger, and now I try to not hear people say that.
Well, you've come a long way, young Padawan, because Andy would. It's not that he was looking for first impressions, but man, you used to be so torn up if you didn't play a perfect set list, or if you missed something. And man, you've really grown past that. And here's the thing: there's something we have to manage. And Joe, you speak to this because I believe in excellence. So I've got to manage doing my part.
Yeah.
But at what point do I say I've done my part, and now my part is not the impression. My part is, God, you do your thing.
This happened to me Sunday, man. I think about like the words that we're singing, and I do my job, quote unquote, my job during the week to prepare and practice the songs and be ready for what I'm about to sing. But then on Sunday, I was literally singing the song and I got caught up in the next note I was going to sing. And I took my eyes off of what I was singing about.
Yeah.
And I had this moment of, it's not about the next note that I sing. It's not about if I'm flat or if I'm sharp or if my voice cracks. It's about what I'm singing.
Yes.
And my heart's posture
Yeah.
to the Lord.
Yes. And so what you're saying is essentially the impression you want to have is from Jesus, not from me.
Yep.
You know, we were saying this, and if you're a musician or a singer, man, I love it when people come and say great job or
Right.
whatever. But honestly, that is what I would much rather have is someone come and say, God broke me during the service.
Yep.
And we've had these discussions. A previous place we used to play together, there was a ramp, and we would sometimes walk, all the team would walk off together on that ramp that nobody could see. And we would walk off sometimes with our heads hung low
Yeah.
because we weren't that great that morning. But those are the mornings that people would come and say, God broke me today. And I'm like, but we didn't sing that well today. We didn't play that well today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walked off from your pacing pre-service and you're still pacing afterward.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, I'm going back to the phrase that you sent. It's like, you live to obey. It's, I am stepping out and I'm on the stage because that's what I feel like the call that God's put
Yes.
on my life. So I'm walking in obedience to Him, and it doesn't matter what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like
I love that. It's obedience. And that's that line, I say it to our worship team a lot, and it's maybe offensive to you. That's okay. There is a part of performance that we do.
Yeah.
You can't take it totally out. When you play a musical instrument in front of people, there's a performance piece.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What's more important? The performance or our obedience and representing Jesus from that stage. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you live having to manage impressions, you're miserable.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's miserable.
Because there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't like you or
it's
what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's, again, the obedience is to the Lord,
That's right.
And my heart for those folks is that God will break them, not so they'll approve me.
Right.
I don't care if they ever approve me.
Yeah.
What I care about is how do we lift the name of Jesus higher, and how does He get exalted in their lives?
Yep.
Even if this is not their style or they don't like Andy's drumming and
Right.
it's too loud, blah, blah, blah. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
I don't play loud.
Okay, Andy.
Let's go to the next one, Andy, before we have to get some altar call right here on the thing. This is a good one. God's approval is not measured in feedback. Both of you sighed simultaneously in this one. I love it. I love it.
Well, I just feel like, the feedback that I get from people, or the feedback that I don't get from people.
That's good right there.
It's like, if I don't hear, hey, you did so good today, or gosh, you sounded so good, or that was so good, I'm like, oh, I failed. I didn't do my job right, but I'm looking to the wrong place for my worth and my value, when I need to be looking to God for that, not people.
Go ahead, Andy, because you had a big sigh on this one too.
Well, we're the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly what she said. And I've battled that. I mean, it's you look to go out off the stage and have somebody say, "Oh, you're great," and it's like,
Andy's great. Feed us chocolate cake.
yeah, and it's silly if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally not the reason that we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else too that I want to stick in here. You know, I've been all over standing on identity for weeks now, and let me ask you this question, and let me just turn that whole thing around. That whole comment around. Are you approved by God?
I hope so.
No, you are. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it because we think it's performance.
Yeah.
You know, it's how well have I acted today? Did I say the right words? Did I not get mad at somebody? Yes, there's a piece of that. But you can do no more to get his approval. And so the feedback that matters is his feedback, not other people's feedback. And so we just get so caught up on it. I love this next one. When affirmation becomes oxygen instead of encouragement. Think about what that statement's saying. When affirmation is your life. I always got told, you know, if you live by affirmation, what do you do when there is no more affirmation? You die. Now, I want to say this. I like affirmation.
Yeah.
It's a good
Everybody
thing.
does, I think.
Yes. I think we need to affirm each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we can be better at it. But what happens when it's crickets?
Yeah. That's tough. when
Can
it's
you
crickets.
live?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's true obedience. What you have to know is I know who I am. Yeah. I know who he is. I know what he's called me to do. Therefore, I act in obedience no matter what anybody says. And that's not crass. That's not an attitude of I don't care. You know, you can get into I don't care what you think. There may come a moment you have to say, listen, I've got to be obedient to the Lord. But it's not this angry, striving thing you say back to people. I don't care what you think. No, what matters is what God thinks.
Yeah.
And your affirmation has to come from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like if you wait and worry about what someone's reaction to your performance is, then you're never going to really truly have what you need to have with God.
That's really good because you're talking about fulfillment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, can you do what you do in obedience? And whether anybody says anything or not, you can walk off and go, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the ultimate, you know. Obedience is the best way. It's better than sacrifice. And so I love what you're saying there because I think as musicians and singers, you know, when you play for the world, this is so different than playing for the world. You play for the world, you go to a bar and you play, you expect people to be like, man, that tip jar's full. You are amazing. Play us a song.
Applause.
That's
you
it.
expect the applause.
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, that you're playing for the world. You know, you've crafted your skill. We craft our skill for a different reason. They craft their skill to make money and be heard by the world. We craft our skill for the Lord. Because the skill that we craft is so that strongholds can be broken and people can be set free and salvation and deliverance and healing and all those things. And so you've got to leverage, what do I really want to do? You know?
Yeah.
And so, but I love what you're saying ultimately is that when I get my affirmation from the Lord directly first, not saying somebody didn't say, man, you did a great job today. But when my affirmation, when I step down off that stage, my affirmation comes from him, and that fulfills me.
That's true.
Not what you're going to say to me. And I got to tell you, there's nothing like getting to do what we get to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, right over my head, it says, it is a privilege to step on the stage. I'm going to change that actually to say, I can't believe.
Yeah.
Like it's mind-boggling. I get to go up here today and do this. And I was talking to some people earlier. They stopped by. And I was like, it's not just that it's fulfilling. Let me give you another F word, a good F word, fun. It's fun. Like it is a blast.
Yeah.
It is just amazing to be up there with this group of people, these 10, 15 folks that play on the team. And we have the best time. And the thing is, together, we're accomplishing something.
Yeah.
And
how much more rewarding is that than playing in a bar? You know what I mean?
No.
Like you think about the performing in a bar and you get the applause and the people are looking. No, but you think about being able to stand on stage and lead people in worship and strongholds are broken in people's lives. How rewarding
That's
is
eternal.
that?
That's
is.
laid out for yourself treasures on earth. That's
Yeah.
laying out for yourself treasures in heaven. And so you can take away your $300 you made on a bar gig, or you can walk off stage and go, like Sunday. I know a lot of people listen to this that don't come to church with us, but we got to the end of the set list Sunday, and God was doing stuff. And I mean, there were people in the front there. It was so good because God was doing his thing.
Yeah.
We were just like,
For sure.
we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, Lord, but really
Just to be a part of that.
that's
it's
it.
Just,
Right.
That's it right there.
Right. I love the word says we'll lay our crowns down, because ultimately it's his anyway. But it's like, man, you chose us to get to do this. And so, so good when affirmation becomes oxygen instead of encouragement. Let's move on to a couple more. Really good discussion. These are 4 or 5 here that I love. Listen to this. My mood rises and falls with people's reactions.
This happened to me Sunday on the way to church. I
Man
think I
alive,
already said
Joanna.
it, but I know. I got in the car and I was like, Andy was like, I felt like I did terrible today, but so many people said I did so good. And I'm like, well, nobody told me I did good. And I got all the, and it's like, whoa, I knew instantly that is
Yes.
not.
Then this goes back to what you were saying at lunch. This is the pride word
Yeah,
that
the
creeps
sin of
in.
pride.
It's the pride word that creeps in, and it creeps in so many times that we don't even realize it's creeping in.
I know.
We don't even think about the fact that it's pride.
It's a constant surrender. Like I'm constantly having to surrender that thing to the Lord. I can work on it and fight it, but it's about the surrender.
Yes.
It's like, Lord, this is,
Yeah.
I lay this pride down.
Well, even the fight sometimes pride.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
I can do this. I can lay this stuff down. Shut up. No, you
Yeah.
can't. Lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it comes from your past.
Yes.
And it has to do with your self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
From growing up and things like that. And you're not necessarily looking for affirmation because you feel like that's really what you need to have. It's just you're looking for that because whenever you were little,
Right.
you didn't have that.
Right.
So
Yeah, you're looking for.
Yeah.
you were looking
Yeah.
for someone to say it. It's
You're
not
doing
necessarily
a good
for
job.
Yeah, it's not necessarily for the wrong reasons. Is what
Correct.
I'm saying.
Right.
It's just
Well, and that's why, and that whole other podcast, that's why the state of our past has to be dealt with too. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's through, therapists, whether it's through psychiatrists, whether it's through just a moment at the altar, God does it a lot of different ways, but
Yeah.
you got to deal with your past. And,
yeah.
because ultimately, again, he's trying to bring us to a place that our total completeness, our total rest, our total
Yeah,
satisfaction
it's in
is in him.
Yep.
And let me make it clear. We've just talked about it. Easy to say.
Harder to
Not
walk
easy.
out.
No, it's hard to walk out.
Yeah.
It would seem like surrender and getting down low, being humble would be the easy part. No, it's
really
not. It's not. And that's a everyday get out of bed and say, God,
Yep.
it's got to be you today. When we go on this stage, it's got to be you. So,
Yep.
all right, let's get to another one. What about when, and these kind of go together, but what about when silence feels like rejection? You just said it, Joanna.
Yeah. If I don't hear any feedback, I'm instantly like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody hates me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. They think I'm terrible.
I'm going to go eat some worms.
Go eat some worms.
That's right. Oh man, it's really crazy. And again, I want to be really vulnerable on these podcasts, and I feel that way sometimes. And even these are things that I'm dealing with, and not even some of these things that I may not be dealing with, and I am. This is pride to say this, I guess. I don't deal with from the worship perspective. I deal with these things sometimes from a pastoring, preaching perspective, because you get up there and you've taken this time to study and do these things, and it's just crickets in the room. And my wife often says, Vince, they're eating this stuff like they're having to. It's like eating a steak. You don't talk while you're eating a steak. You're digesting it, right? You're chewing and digesting. And so sometimes though, that silence, those crickets, man, you just walk off with your head bowed low.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how God uses the moments we feel like we failed is when he gets most glory, and the times we feel like we've overcome and done the biggest job, and you hear crickets. And that's just, I always say it like this. Listen, he wants us. And this may be controversial, but he doesn't need us. He wants us.
Yeah.
And it's really where it's at. He could do this without us. And sometimes he does in spite of us. He's like, I'm going to watch this. But he wants us to be a part of what he's doing. We're walking with him and getting to be a part. So.
Yeah. I feel like in the places of that silence, that's really almost a playground for the enemy. He is trying to, come in those moments and put those negative thoughts in our mind of, hey, you sucked. You didn't do a good job. Nobody said you were good, so you're terrible.
Right. Boy, and that's good, because a lot of times it's not just the fact that we didn't hear anything. What that becomes is we're awful. It's not just, no, wasn't much feedback today. It's okay. God, you got me. Especially with singers and musicians, what happens typically with that is now we're like, we are terrible.
Yep.
We're awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop doing this because I'm not capable.
Yep.
It's not the case.
That was me.
Yeah.
6 years ago. I literally didn't ever want to play the drums again.
Yeah. And here you are.
Yeah.
So was it mainly because, how did you feel? Like it was because of you, because you weren't getting the affirmation, or was it just that were you fighting inside of yourself?
It was internal. I think I knew deep down inside I could play the drums just fine. But I would go up there and play on Sunday morning, and if I didn't play it just right, it would ruin my day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was just to a point where it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it
It would
wasn't the right
affect
way.
his whole, it would affect his whole mood. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Andy's getting better, because now when UT loses, he doesn't lose his mind. So
Yeah.
most of the time, Joanna's looking at a little bit. Joanna's like, I don't know about that.
I don't anymore.
He just quit. I think he just quit watching them.
Yeah,
when he
that's the
feels like it's not going to be good. He's like, I'm just going to turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're stepping on something too that really is another stain, and that's the stain of perfectionism.
Yeah.
And it will kill you.
Oh yeah.
It'll kill you. You can't. My name's not Joe Bonamassa,
Yeah.
or pick some great Chuck Corea, who was an amazing jazz player. I know who I am. I know what I've been called to do. He's given me the skill to do what I do, and I do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. This is our gifts are things that he did.
Right.
He put this in us. He created these gifts. We didn't do anything.
Right.
I didn't create my voice and handpick how it was going to sound. He did that.
Right.
And my job is just to step up and lay it out.
Yeah.
And give it back to him.
Yeah. We're uniquely and wonderfully made, and so you have to accept that. He made you, not somebody else.
Yep.
If he'd have wanted you to be somebody else, he'd have made you somebody else. So really good. Let's run a couple more of these, and this one is really, really good. Criticism, and we can change that to sound a little different, but criticism feels like collapse. The silence is deafening on this one.
Yeah. I mean.
How do you handle feedback? That's what this is saying.
Yeah.
Criticism's a rough word, but when feedback, and I don't know that I like the word constructive criticism, because the word criticism is still in there, but when feedback feels like collapse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't deal well with it.
I don't either. Well, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I don't get a lot of criticism, I don't think.
Well, just get ready.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, all right.
We'll change that around.
Yeah. But even now, sometimes if I don't do something exactly how you want it done, and you'll say, "Can you do it this way?" In the back of my mind, I'm like, "Bro,
yeah, no."
I know what I'm doing.
Let's talk about that, because I think that's it's not a sacred cow or in the room, but during rehearsal, we rehearse on Sunday mornings for an hour, and we don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
And so I'm not mean. I'm just
no,
matter
not
of
at all.
fact. I'm just like, Andy, don't play it like this. Play it like this.
Yep.
Brandon, do it like this. Joanna, let's sing it like this.
Yeah.
Rocky, let's play it like this. And so I'm very matter of fact, and I need to make sure that I'm not mean in what I'm saying, but in the same breath, we have a mission to accomplish, and so I get it, because I'm the same way. I'm going to remember that next time I say Andy. I'm like, Andy Maxey, I need you to play it just like I said now.
Can I please ask you to change the way that you're playing?"
Yeah, but that's a point, man. That's so good, because we don't need to stand up there and be like, okay, now, Andy, you're the best drummer in the world.
Right.
And you hit all the right notes. And can we just play this one a little different? Because you'll play it so well.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot better about it. Like, it doesn't bother me nearly like it used to.
Yeah.
But
Well, if I ever seen you come out of that cage after I said something, I'll be running. Andy's coming to hit me.
no.
Now, I just want to say, and I'm really bad at this, but as musicians, as singers, as worship people, be open to feedback. And I'm the same way. I get feedback on certain things, and I get everything inside me stands up. I tell you, ain't gonna.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the feedback is absolutely incorrect,
Yeah.
My acceptance and the way I feed back to the feedback, and that's what matters. I'm
Right.
responsible for my response.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we are.
Yep.
And so,
And it goes back to, it doesn't matter what other people think about
yeah,
you.
it matters
It's-
what God thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, this is a good one. I serve differently depending on who's watching. Ooh.
I mean, I'm sure probably most people are guilty of that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like your mom or dad walks in the room
Yeah.
and you weren't expecting them to be there.
We were just talking about in business when the CEO is coming to visit or the general manager,
Yeah.
everybody's scrambling.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
perk up.
Everybody's-
You make sure you're
yeah.
at the top of your game, doing
Everything's
everything.
dusted, everything's clean.
Yeah.
Every floor's been wiped,
Yeah.
But honestly, integrity says you do it all the time.
I was going to say, why is that not our response
That's
every
exactly
Sunday?
it.
Yeah.
Because
That's exactly it.
the Holy Spirit's in the room. The
I'm
Lord
like-
is with us.
I'm like that too, man. It's the visitors come and the place falls apart that day, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. I am responsible to be obedient to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And so, when I have friends come, I mean, I'm not going to say when I have friends come and visit that I don't want it to be a great service. I want them all to be a great service. But yeah,
Right.
there's like, man, I hope the service is just home. We hit a grand slam in the service.
Yeah.
And the problem is with that sometimes is we're grading the service. We hit a triple and we think a triple's not good enough. We hit a double and a double's not. Look, we got on base and it wasn't good enough. I didn't strike out. That's great. But we start basing services and situations on home run hits. And the truth is, that's not my that's back to the first thing we talked about.
Yeah.
That's not my responsibility.
Right.
My responsibility is to come prepared, spiritually first.
Be obedient.
Yep. Skillfully
Do-
next,
yep.
and then do what I've been set to do. And so I think that I'm guilty of that sometimes too. And I have to just give it to the Lord. And,
Yeah.
it's
He
the,
covers and handles the rest.
he does.
Yeah.
He does. And if people, look more offended by the service, I've got to give that to the Lord.
Yeah.
I really do. I do.
Yep.
Couple more. This is great conversation. I hope that we have some worship folks on the podcast today, and they'll hear some of these. This is a good one. I replay conversations afterward, wondering what people thought.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
And they meant nothing.
Yeah.
Text message is one of the best and worst things we have in life. It's great because I love it. It's quick. A lot of people use it, but I find that a lot of time you send a text message and there's no inflection of your voice, there's no body language, and you read it and you'll read it wrong. And I have responded to text messages incorrectly sometimes. And somebody's like, "Yo, calm down. It's not what I meant."
Yeah.
But I think we get in conversations sometimes with people, and because of our perfectionism and because of the affirmations and because of all the things we're as especially as musicians and singers, we replay that 1,000 times and we read into things people never meant for us to read into.
Yeah. It's almost like we're looking for the negative.
Yeah.
We're looking for the, what'd they mean by that? Or-
Looking for some offense. Yeah, it's really good. And it's so, again, what if you're looking for offense, what is actually at work in your life? Pride. It all goes
It's
back.
always there.
It always goes back to pride.
Yeah.
And, I was talking yesterday in the class, and I don't know how you feel on this podcast, but I can tell you what I see in the Word. What I see in the Word is Lucifer was the worship leader of heaven. It said he was the anointed cherub that covers. Now, if you're going to be the cherub that covers, it means you were over top of the throne. You covered the throne. So that means he was extremely close to God. He was right there. It also says in there that tabrets and pipes became him. It really doesn't say that he played tabrets and pipes. It says they became him. So he literally opened his mouth, and the way I view it, he literally made the sound of musical instruments. Like, that's powerful.
Yeah.
And so he's the worship leader, obviously, of heaven. He gets kicked out. That leaves a for hire spot, right? Well, guess what? That's us. We get to fill that spot. So when you think about it, we know why did Lucifer fall out of heaven? Right?
Yeah.
Pride. Okay. So what do you think he's going to come after musicians and worship leaders? I'm talking about worship people. What's he going to come after worship people
Yep.
with?
Pride.
He knows. He knows. He knows how to get us. He knows how to get us after a service, before a service, in the middle of the week. Something somebody said that we took wrong. One musician that looked at us with a cross eye. One thing I said in a rehearsal. It is one of the biggest guards that we have to guard for. And again, it all goes back to what we started with. Know your affirmation lies in Christ, not in what people say. Yeah. Listen, that doesn't mean we don't have to confront things sometimes. It don't mean that you guys, we've had these conversations before. Yeah. Again, vulnerable on this podcast. I wasn't Joanne and Andy's pastor, and they came here graciously, and they have been, it's just really, it's humbling. I'm going to tell you, it's humbling to be someone's worship leader and now be their pastor. But they've been very gracious. And the one thing we've openly talked about is like, listen, don't let anything get under the carpet.
Yeah.
Nothing. And especially those of us that make mountains out of molehills.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen. My door is, I'm not telling this again. I'm just saying this is how we all should live. Our doors are open. Mm-hmm. If I said something I shouldn't have said, or I've done something I shouldn't have done, or you misunderstood something, come to the person. That's what the word says. If you have ought against your brother, go to them.
Communication.
It is huge. And we don't do it. And then we get snarled up and we get all messed up and unsatisfied, and then junk happens. And man, I am so determined that we're going to have mistakes, but I'm so determined that we're going to do church right for a change.
Yeah.
And some of that means stepping into the unknown. It means doing things that we've never done. Yeah. It means, and I think a lot of times we think church doesn't look as usual. We always look at the service and say the service is going to look different. No, it's not just the service that's going to look different. It's going to be the whole family is going to look different, and the way we operate and communicate together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what has to look different, because it's been 1,000 times it's been done wrong. And so again, it's all about humility. Yeah. All right, here's the last one. And this one takes a little bit of thought when you put it together. I avoid obedience if it risks misunderstanding. Why?
Well, it's a huge one, because I would say probably 90% or more of people in leadership have been guilty of it at some point with someone, because there's going to be stuff come up tough conversations tough conversations, and they need to happen, but you avoid having it because
That's really good.
That someone that you need to have the conversation with is going to be one way or another about it. And you generally have an idea of how they're going to go.
Yeah. And so you avoid it.
You avoid it.
But the problem is with that, if we're leaders, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing for a leader, and this is speaking to leaders in general. What you have to do is, when you have to have tough conversations, is you need to figure out how you're going to have it with the love of God, with truth.
Yes.
Don't truth. Yep. Just get what you got to get out. But how you say it matters.
Yep.
What you say matters.
Yep.
And we think just because it's not good news, we have to share it harshly. And that's the thing too, and I'm guilty of this, man. I let my emotions get the best of me sometimes. And in those hard conversations, I feel that rise up, and then I say things maybe that need to be said, but don't say them how they should have been said. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's not good.
No.
It's not good. And so
it makes all the difference.
It does.
In how it's delivered.
This is the thing. When you have to confront things that aren't going right. My question is this: is your heart because you want to bust somebody's behind?
Right.
Or is the heart behind it? This is where you may have to set on things for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Or is the heart, I want you to be better.
Yeah.
I want us to be better.
Yeah.
And we can't fulfill our calling together if we're not all operating where we're supposed to operate. Mm-hmm. And so as a leader, there's just things you have to confront sometimes. How you confront matters. How your heart confronts matters. And so for me, it's about walking into situations truly saying, I want the best for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. As a leader, your heart is you want the best for each member of your team.
Yes.
So, you may have to deliver some tough words, but the way that you deliver it and your heart behind it makes all the difference in the world.
I have had people in my life that can deliver some of the worst news to me, and I walk out smiling, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I've had people deliver bad news to me, and I've walked out angry.
Yeah.
Even though the what they had to deliver to me were both truths. And that's what's so weird.
But it's the heart.
Yeah, it's a heart.
Yeah.
It's 100%. A heart. I've had people tell me things that are tough, and I've walked out begging to change. I mean, I've walked out of the room already changed. I'm like, it's this. And then I've had people tell me some tough things that don't tell me the right way, and I walk out hard, and that's my problem.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a responsibility to communicate right, but part of my responsibility is to look inward and say, yep, I've got an issue.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like a lot of times in the past at different churches that we've been at and places that people will not have that conversation with people because they're worried about losing them.
Getting mad, leaving the church.
Leaving the church and stuff like that. But that really boils down to you're giving in to relationships and things like that instead of the conviction of God.
Yeah. And that's all. We go back to one word here, and that's obedience.
Yeah.
And so, listen, worship leaders out there, and when I say worship leaders, let me change them to musicians and singers. Let me make something really clear as we start to end this podcast. You're a worship leader. Don't think just because you're a backup singer, whether you never lead anything or you're just back there beating a cowbell, whatever. You're leading worship from your instrument, and you're vocally leading worship. And when you're on that, let me go a little further. We had this discussion yesterday or Monday night. Sound guys, no, you're a worship leader.
Yep.
Camera people, you're worship leaders. Producer switchers, you're worship leaders. We always want to think, well, I'm just back here hiding. No, all of us working together for one purpose, and that's to lift the kingdom higher. That's what it's about. Lift the name of Jesus higher. And so no matter what you're doing, you're leading. Yep. And so always take that. But this whole state of performance, man, I'll tell you, it's something that we've all dealt with. We're still dealing with it.
Every day.
We're dealing with it, but we're getting better. His grace, back to what I say about this podcast all the time, His grace is, we're not visiting grace, we're standing in grace. Thank you, God. And so I'm so glad you joined us today. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having us.
Happened to be around today. We had to learn some tech things. I told you on this podcast I'm going to have a lot of different people on, and this was just out of convenience. Isn't that really great? What I'm just saying, I didn't really want you on. You were just here.
Yeah,
Don't be offended. I'm just.
I'm offended.
I am. I'm gonna go eat worms when I get in the car.
No, I'm just. I'm so excited for where God's taking us, and so today I hope this spoke to you. I hope it maybe it made you look inward and think about, hey, am I or am I not in the right place? Not maybe in the right place of serving, but maybe is my heart in the right place? And so I love you, musicians and singers. You're the best. You have my heart, because that is my heart. And so with that, we're going to close it up. I hope you have a great week. This was episode 3. I don't know what episode 4 will be. I don't know where this is going. I just know there's people I want to have on and have conversations with and be encouraging to you. But just remember this stubborn standard performance, He can take care of it too. And in fact, that's what we've been talking about. He's erasing it. He's getting it in our rearview mirror farther and farther away. Doesn't mean that once in a while objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. Yeah. But you know what? God's gracious. And so, God, we're thankful for your grace. And I thank you that you're drawing us closer to you. You're bringing our hearts into some new areas and some new identity. And so bless you guys. Have a great week. And thanks for joining us on Stubborn Stains. Talk to you later.